Alright, today's project, replace those two springs with these two. The spring broke and I can't get the garage open, so I can't get the car out of the way. It's just too heavy for me to lift. My guess is 300 to 400 pounds, and I'm not going to try to hurt my back to get it up and then try to control it slamming down because it has to go down for me to work up here. So as you can see, I've already disconnected this from the track as well as it's released up there because there was the garage door tried pulling it up and it was under tension. So now it's released of its tension. It's sitting flat on the ground. To start with, I put a C-clamp on here above the wheels, tight as I could get it, just in case as I'm winding the door doesn't try to slide up. So it's pinned there. I also took another C-clamp, put it on this side, pinned it as well as this. This is just so it doesn't swing up when I'm doing it. I hear the horror stories of people getting hurt. And mainly it has to do with unwinding these. So I have everything set right here on top of my swamp cooler. This is to break it loose. These are winding rods. I guess they have to be specific for garage doors so they don't bend and they're rated for it. And this is just the same. These are both 12.7/16 sockets. This way so I can crack it loose, and then this way I can just take the speed off quickly. It does look like these did line out. I haven't really messed with this yet. Let's see if I can get that. See, so they're a little loose. I don't necessarily like that, but I just got to make sure to really keep an eye on it. I haven't tried this on the other ones actually. So, and it's going to want to spin towards the door. So we'll start on the top one, crack one loose, and hold it. Alright, so I have paint kind of gluing the pieces together. And I don't know how much tension there's actually going to be on this thing, so I'm going to get a blade, cut it, the paint to try to break it free, and a hammer to tap it, just so to try to break it loose, because I don't know how much tension this is under. This is my first time. Oh, for some reason I just feel like I needed my safety glasses on. I know it sounds silly, but sticking up there, I don't want stuff getting in my eye and blocking my eye while I'm potentially having tension and pressure on something. So in order to mitigate that, because you never know when you're gonna get crap in your eye. So I've had it in cases where you're in the middle holding something, you got something burning in your, like stinging your eye, and you can't really see. So instead of trying to fight that, well, I'll try to put things down. I'm just doing that. Since I don't know how well that's going to grab on the camera, I put a pair of the rods twisting, so when I crack everything loose, it doesn't want to break it. I feel no pressure, and I don't want to pull it down because I don't know how much force is going to be on that. Right now it looks like it's kind of stuck together, so I put the vice grips on there to prevent the bar from rotating. It's going to press into the wall, then I can at least push up and try to break it free, then control lower it down. So let's see, yeah, there's a pair of vice grips right there. So I want to try it again. I also didn't know how many rotations, so 26 on each side is where I'll start with when I put them back on. And at least for me, let's get down the video. At least for me, the tension wasn't as bad as I thought everyone made it out to be. It was only 10-15 pounds, so just 10-15 pounds, and just make sure to go over hand over hand. Clearly whoever put this up before is either used an old rod or they didn't have it in there correctly. There's clearly spots where something's been clamped down further downstream than where it's currently clamped. I guess it's this way for you guys. And so the pipe's not round here, so when I try to slide it off, it gets stuck. So I gotta fix that, and then I can slide the spring off. I already pulled the set screws out, so it's not catching on that. So this one's marked with red, and according to online, red goes on this side, black goes on this side. And the new springs, they come marked here with red around the circle. And black, so. There's also a plastic piece up there that looks like it goes to this side, but they gave me a new one, so I gotta go grab it. Yeah, it just goes in there. I gotta take the one off, that one up there. So now what I decided to do is I'm actually going to put that bracket back on, kind of secure it in place, since as I'm starting to take that off, nothing really prevents this from potentially swinging down. I don't want it landing on my car. So easiest way to mitigate that is retain it at that end. I guess some zip ties to contain it would probably work, but the bracket's right there, so I'm just going to do that. So the reason I'm stuck over there is there's a big buildup of paint all on the bar, and it's catching that since the bar is almost the same diameter as those. So just take a utility knife and scrape it off, and it should slide off easier. Plans again. I don't have enough room on that side. I probably should have known that. So I'm gonna undo that bracket. So the issue's turning to be it's just paint on. There's paint that was all in the bar, and that's just preventing it from sliding easily. So I got to go and just keep scraping paint off. So I'll insert a picture. Thing is, it's just out around in that area, so it doesn't want to go from where the two screws. This is the pipe. Let's go this way. We're pinching here and here. It deformed it, so it's not wanting to go over that one area. I was trying to avoid it. That's why I went from this side, but I guess. Well, that was where that's the spot where that spring clipped onto at its end, so that kind of makes sense. Well, I did a bunch of work for no extra reason, I guess. I don't know, first time doing this, so I don't know what I'm doing other than I have a vague idea. If you're doing it, zip ties, that's what I did there in the center, and double them up just in case. I don't know what these break at, but I don't know. Wasting 2 zip ties is cheaper than a repair bill for a car for body damage. Okay, so got the center bolted in. I'm gonna get the other side so it straightens the beam out after I put everything on, and then I guess reverse order, lock it in place, tension that cable, wind the bars, and hope it all stays together. SD card is full. So that one's done. That one is not. That's all tight. That's all tight. And I had to move that clamp to the other side because I didn't have those tight, and it wanted to start spinning, retracting the bar while I had it under tension. So I had to flip that and keep that keeping the vice grips holding the bar from rotating. Then I went and tightened that side. So now I just got to tighten, or I got to wind this. So I'll do that now. Okay, well, you can see it's open. When I try to close it, it's throwing an excessive force error. I'll go down, so what I'm gonna probably have to do is manually drop it. Oh, now it doesn't throw an excessive force. Yep, there it goes. So I'm gonna have to close it manually and then take a couple winds out of each side. That's my guess. Yeah, see, there it goes, it's beeping out. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so I took 3/4 turns out of each side, reconnected it. Let's see. Yeah, something's not right. Closed. I wonder if I have a left-right alignment issue. And the gap on this side does look a smidge. No, the gap's about the same across. I can measure it. I think it's just the rubber boot on the bottom of this one's messed up. So let's get a tape measure and see if that's the issue. So yeah, actually the other side does look like a slight higher, 1.125. That looks like 1.375. So I'll have to just keep adjusting it until it shims out right. I guess I can try opening it, see what happens. All else fails to break something. I pull the stuff. Oh, it's opening. Oh, it's mad about something. I'll go check the error code. So the error code is excess opening force, so I don't have enough turns, so I guess I'll go and add, I took out 3, I'll add 1 to each side, see if that helps it. So we're in the ballpark, it's mostly there, it's just, I guess, the adjustment. So I took out 3 on each side, I'm going to add 1, I can add 1.5 to each side, split the difference. Alright, so bit of just guessing and checking. I went 26 on both sides. Too much closing force error by that. Then I went to 23 on both sides. Too much opening force as the error code. So then I split the difference and went to 24.5 on each side. Too much closing force error. So I took a half turn out of each side. So I'm at 24 turns on each side versus the 26 of the original one. And ta-da! Yay, fixed my garage door. So I got the parts from Express Garage Door. I think that's where it was. I got the invoice. I'll make sure to put them in there. And took them a week to ship. It was with the winding bars after tax. It was like $144. So yeah, they're $144 with the winding bars. Supposed to use a special kind of winding bar that doesn't bend and fits tightly, so I just ordered them. Got them done. Their website I think says 28 turns, but they did message me and say these springs are bigger than what's required for my door. And I just said, well, let me just put up what I had, because it should work with what you have. Size wise, they wanted me to go to a slightly smaller size. I eventually planned to put insulation panels on these doors, so it'll add some weight. So I just said, nah, let's stick with the slightly beefier springs, and then just adjusted them, or Took it apart, as you see in the video, put it all back in, wound it. When I called around local places, so Home Depot doesn't sell the springs locally. None of the hardware stores, none of the garage places will. They say it's a liability for because you can get hurt, and so that nobody will sell it to you, but they'll come do a service. I would have done that, except the services ranged around $600 to do what I did, and I'm not paying $600 for $100 springs. That's, if it was $200, you go, okay, yeah, and then, you know, an hour and a half worth of work, I make some money, but $600 is way too much. I think one was $550, one was $600, and then you just got to add tax on it, and then you got to wait for them to show up. It's like, no, I'll wait a week. I have 3 other vehicles. I can drive that. I can drive those if necessary, which I did. It's just, I'm not paying, like I said, $550 to $600 for a $100 spring and $20 for the winding bars. So yeah, seems to work. So hopefully this helps somebody. If not, if you can pay a professional that's cheaper, then pay them, but I wasn't going to pay it. Plus I'm currently unemployed at the moment. I got laid off, so spending $600 on a service versus $140 to do it myself. I got all the time in the world until I get a job again, and it's cheaper. All right, till the next one.